what were some of the, because when you say, sexual assault is sexual assault, was it defined differently? Is that why it
Defined
expanded more?
in far more detail. And
so they actually listed like, this is what this is.
yeah,
if you do
you
this,
broke
if
it
you
down
do
into
that.
so many different sections, subsections, because really, sexual assault is a broad field, but we just needed rule upon rule upon rule, and part of that human nature is we think, well, we can solve it by having more rules, when much of the problem really was, it was sort of a human nature problem. Often young men, young women acting badly. Alcohol was often the problem. Discipline, general unit discipline was often a problem. But making up more rules didn't necessarily make people safer. It just cost more and slowed down processes and confused people more. I don't know. I look at...
Is that because of a moral change, you think?
I don't think there was a huge moral change in people in the last 30 or 40 years. Really? No, I think that when we keep making up more rules, we think we're solving the problem there, and really, the issue isn't the law. The issue is how we're acting. I look at this from, and any of your listeners that study the Bible, and he might think of this. There was a law under Moses for the people of Israel, and after the people of Israel were punished for violating so many of God's laws, particularly worshiping idols, being unjust to the poor, and they were swept away and taken to other countries, and it was horrible when the Babylonians and the Assyrians defeated the Israelites. And when the Israelites were allowed a small contingent to return to their country, then they realized the problems they had before, and their solution for some of them was to create more and more rules. Beyond the rules that God gave them, the Pharisees made thousands of rules related, for example, to the Sabbath, so that they lost sight of what the Sabbath was all about. And they thought the rules would protect them, but the rules weren't the problem. Their heart was the problem, and their relationship with God was the problem. Well,
even if you're not universal truth.
Yeah, even if you're not a Christian, if you're another religion, you're an atheist, it's still the same sort of principle. As we're always looking for a law to save us, when really, oftentimes it's a heart issue, and the law not only can't save us, it can just make things more complicated, so that we don't even really understand what the law is. And, with federal law the way it is now, there's not a single person in America, I think, that couldn't be indicted for some federal offense if you really turned their life upside down.
Right.
And you looked, because all of us at some point in time, and many of these offenses are things we didn't even know was an offense. We just didn't know it.
Right.